everyone, and welcome back to Jesse Hecht Creative. Today we're going over the MOTU Origins Classic He-Man and 2000X He-Man, as well as a Simon Belmont Kitbash Custom from Castlevania and Mega Custom X. Before we begin, make sure to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. Now let's get to it. He-Man's head looks interesting. On one hand, it looks a lot like the cartoon version. On the other hand, he looks really disgusted about something. I like the sculpt a lot for the hair. It is really not that detailed though, I'm afraid. It looks kind of weird. I would guess like a bunch of spaghetti on his head. And the face looks strange and it's just really off-putting to me. The body is your basic muscular hunk kind of body. The arms are really bulgy and weird. I don't like how there isn't really articulation here though. That's a shame. There are some cool bracers and the belt is nice as well as the loincloth over here. This is an overlay with a port on the back you could put things into. I like the paint on it, but that's about it for this. The legs are stumpy and weird. I do like the fringe on the boots though. They're very nice. And yeah, it's just your standard He-Man legs, I guess. As far as accessories goes, he comes with, I think, 1/2 of the power sword. I'm not really caught up on He-Man lore, but there's ports in here. It look like it could fit into some other kind of sword. I know that he and Skeletor share the same half of a sword. That's a really interesting thing for a fantasy series. It doesn't really fit that well in his hand either. That's a shame, and it isn't really colored that great. It's an okay accessory at best. For storage, you can also place the power sword in the scabbard in the back. The axe he comes with is awesome. It's really old school, and I love it. I love to get a bunch of these and make some Axum Rangers, maybe get 3D printed stuff going on, and that'd be awesome. Yeah, Super Mario RPG is a cool game, and this axe would be great for it. For storage, you can also place the axe in the scabbard in the back. He lastly comes with a shield that has a clip on the back and a holding portion. It looks nice from the front and it's okay from the back. I do like how the clip works pretty well. My big issue with it is getting on his hand, putting it over here and then flipping it up. It's alright until you realize that it kind of messes the paint up a little bit on this sometimes, so be very careful how you use it. That being said, it looks nice on the character and works well if he needs to get into a tough scrape with an enemy. For storage, you can kind of hang the shield kind of hangs there. It works pretty well. You can also do this with the weapons and stuff he comes with. I just like how it looks. It's pretty neat. As far as articulation goes for classic He-Man, the head can go left and right and then up and down all the way around a little bit. Up this far and down all the way around. No swivel up here. Swivel over here at the elbow and then up this far pretty much and swivel all the way around really nicely. You do get left and right swivel and then up and down for this hand, the holding hand, and the non-holding hand, his slappy hand goes slappity slap slap left and right and then swivels as well. You get a swivel over here, no ab articulation or anything. You get the splits really far, really nice. And in, you go up this far pretty much and back pretty okay. You do get a single jointed knee that goes up this far and down and swivels at the knee. You get a swivel down here at the calf and then down and then up and then pivot and 2 pegos upon the feet. Definitely a cool figure and something I kind of underlooked as far as action figure collecting goes, but this isn't really why I got this figure. Stay tuned for that. 2000X He-Man looks nice, but a little worse for wear. Kind of like his face is melting a little bit. The hair sculpt is really nice. I like how this looks. It doesn't look as spaghetti-like as the other one because it's way shorter. It looks fine with his head sculpt. The ear is pretty good. The eyes are pretty sunken in though. It looks like he's had a big battle behind him. The body is the same thing but in different colors, more silver. Looks really nice. We lose those red accents for silver. It looks wonderful. I like the emblems and logos on his belt and his chest. They're really nice. And his legs are pretty much the same too with that dark brown. It looks a little more real and earthy. Very nice. The back looks pretty good too as well. Same stuff as before. Yeah, this is cool. As someone who used to watch the 2000X He-Man series, I'm very familiar with this sword and have a bunch of it in my action figure collection. That being said, it's all silver and the mold is good, but I feel like it could use a little bit more oomph. It looks nice. It just could use some articulation over here. I would think to have it spin or move, but otherwise it looks nice, but a little bit undercooked with the colors. For storage, you can also place the power sword in the scabbard in the back. You can actually sort of push it, but the problem is it will kind of make it a little bit weaker as a piece, so just be careful with that. He also comes with a gymongous axe that I also am familiar with. I love this piece. Again, it doesn't have the bright teal and red colors as well as tan that it used to in the action figures that I have, but this is nice in a pinch. Maybe you could use it for some kind of technological barbarian or something. Go nuts with it. It's a great big axe. For storage, you can also place the axe in the scabbard in the back. It actually fits quite well if you push it down a tiny bit. Yeah, it's great. And finally, finally, like before, he comes with a shield that is a little more red and a little more silver than the previous one, with a lot more little greebles and dots and junk on it. I love it. On the back, we have a large clip once again with the holding portion, and that's really great. This He-Man comes with 2 hands to hold things, so putting the shield on is very easy. Have him grip onto it and then clip onto this over here. But it did actually rip some paint, and it is already actively ripping the paint off of this, so yeah, be careful. It's kind of really hard to work out over here. That's a shame. For storage, I figured this out once again. You can place this on top of the scabbard, and it won't really move unless you move him. You can also do this with the pieces that come with 2000X He-Man. I like this even more than the previous. It looks so cool, like a jet or something, or some kind of cool emblem. This is great. With sword and shield in hand, He-Man is ready for battle. Aside from those issues with the clip, it looks great having him hold 2 things. He even looks way better with the axe, though. Classic He-Man stands at about 5.5 inches tall or so, but modern He-Man stands a tiny bit taller at maybe 5.5 plus a little bit. They're both really great figures, and it all depends on which one you like the best. My money's for the 2000X version. I love how it looks and everything, but there's also an appreciation for the classic version. And also, here's Jesse Hecht Creative. Sure, you guys may have your swords, axes, and shields and stuff like that, but check out this cool whip I found, huh? Huh? Stay tuned. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also click the bell icon for more creativity. Now let's get back to it. As far as kitbashing goes, we're about to have a lot of fun. First thing to do here is take your He-Man's head off and the arms for both of them, and then the boots over here, take them off. They're kind of difficult. You have to kind of unscrew it a little bit, but they're pretty simple once you figure it out and get the hang of it. It's actually the worst part to take off as far as this goes, and then take this off right here, and then take off the little harness, and you're good with that. Now repeat the process for the second one. Once you have all your pieces spread out, take the heads out. You don't need them. Take the harnesses out. You don't need them at all. Take Classic He-Man's boots. You don't need them as well. And his arms too. Trying to find those over there. Take off the lower torso of the modern He-Man, and it's hard to differentiate, but these are different sculpts over here, at least I would think. This one has some better stuff going on for us. I'm going to keep this one going on for that, and then move this to the side. So now we have the Classic He-Man, putting the boots on for that. Right over here, got those boots on, nice and fine. You also want to remove the sword and the axe from the 2000X He-Man, as well as the shield and the sword from Classic He-Man. So now all you have is the arms, the body and torso, and these 2 pieces over here. Next, you have to politely ask Bujubu, B-U-J-U-B-U, or Mega Custom X, as is more likely known, on Instagram for these custom pieces that he printed, painted, and made with loving care. They are beautiful. So how to attach them onto these pieces? He says use hot water, and I already have, so they have formed to the body pretty well. Take the belt and place it over the torso, being careful and using equal adequate pressure until it sort of like slides on. It will not work on this torso. I've tried, for the flesh tone at least that I'm trying to get. Next, you want to place this on right here, and that clicks on really nicely. You then want to carefully sort of slide this open a little bit and have it just engulf and eat this piece right here. It's going to be very gentle, very careful, but it fits very, very well. I'm going to let it just sort of sit and mold and try to just, react to it, and it looks really nice over here. Then you want to place this arm, sort of snuggle it underneath there and click, and the other arm just pieces right in right there. And this is the toughest part, because this pauldron does not really want to move that much. Anyways, lastly, put on the head very carefully, very tightly, smush it around, and we have Simon Belmont from Castlevania for the NES. He looks amazing. Let's check him out. As someone not familiar with the MOTU line, I can't tell this is a redo of a sculpt or anything else, but this is phenomenal. I love the hair sculpt. It's very non-detailed, which is great. It brings attention to that headband he's wearing with the little gem on it shining. That's wonderful. The eyes are a little bit underset on mine, a little bit up and down on each one. That's okay, I guess. The face reminds me of Dolph Lundgren for some reason, and it's phenomenal. This may be an actual sculpt that he tweaked a bit, but otherwise it looks epic. The body armor is great too. I love how it's sort of like rounded straight lines. That's awesome. I love how jagged it looks and sort of pieced together it is. This little pauldron is nice over here. I wish there was some articulation for it. I love the little plate holding them together together too. On the back, we have some really nice sort of like more cross motifs that look really great, and some straps tying it in together with metal bands going all the way around, and it looks awesome. This is a really nice piece. Very well done. The belt, I must say, is something I've had problems with though. I do like the cross motifs on here as well. All the little pleated sort of like skirt pieces going all the way around with the belt, and it looks great. This piece I have issues with because it keeps jutting out. It should be more in, I would think. And then this. This is the sort of item holder. You can put things into it as far as accessories goes later on, but I just find that it isn't really that forgiving. It did break on me a little bit over here. I had to put a dab of super glue on there. Kind of hard to see, but yeah, just be careful putting weapons in here, and that's kind of a shame that it broke, but it's a good piece otherwise and fit pretty well in the figure when I heated it up. We've seen the legs before. These boots are from the 2000X He-Man. They look really nice on him actually, even though the original painted version of this figure had some white collared cuffs on the boots and they were painted differently, but overall this figure looks really great. I'm very happy with it. As far as previously seen accessories goes, I gave him the shield from the 2000X He-Man and the axe from the classic 80s He-Man. They look great and work well, seeing as shields and axes were sub-weapons for Simon. As far as new accessories goes, he comes with this cross that looks really awesome. I love this thing. It looks great. It's a little bit off-centered on mine though, which I guess is okay because it's going to be in motion hitting down those bad guys. Personally, isn't my favorite sub-weapon in the series. That's holy water for me, but this is really great. You could probably attach it to stuff too, maybe a Christmas ornament? I don't know. Whatever repels the vampires these days, I guess. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also click the bell icon for more creativity. Now let's get back to it. One of the best accessories he comes with, though, is the Vampire Killer Whip. It's phenomenal, beautiful, and deserves a lot of praise. This is excellent. Let's check it out. The handle looks really nice. Don't mind this wire over here. I'll explain it later. There's some really nice wrapping around here and this little point down here. This is a little bit wider than I would like it to be for reasons I'll explain later, but I do like the points on here, and yes, they are prickly. They are pointy. It's kind of scary. It's a really nice piece. It looks really cool from both sides. It's painted really well and fits amazingly in his hand. The chain of the whip looks really great. I love this thing. Mega Custom X provided some floor wiring that goes through the whip every 2 chains or so. I put it in there as per the instructions provided. Looks really nice, and it can be bent in a bunch of different poses, but for now I'm going to keep it like this. Mostly because of the little morning star in the end. I love this little detail and it gives it a little more oomph. I love this weapon, whether it be in any Castlevania game or especially 2 that I really love. The little spikes on the ball are really well detailed. It's a very nice piece and kind of hard to actually keep still to get in focus. But yeah, very nice looking piece. I love how it looks, and putting the floral wire through the end of it gives it a little uppity point, which makes it go up, and then I just sort of curve everything down and around it, making it look for a nice flow for the whip. There probably will be some extra floral wiring, so I just wrapped it around the whip itself to gain a little bit of traction, and it looks kind of ugly in some places, but it's fine by me, I guess. As far as accessory storage goes, you can put the cross in here. It fits really nicely as well. As far as fitting the axe in goes, it's a little bit tricky. You have to kind of push this up a tiny bit. Be very careful with it, and it will work in the end. Just be very gentle. Here's something I just figured out. You can get the shield on top of the axe while it's inside the holder portion. You can put it on top of the little ball right here, and it fits and sits pretty well. Just don't really move him upside down, otherwise it falls off. What I used to do was fit this right over here and just place it on top of the cross, and it works pretty alright, I guess. A little bulgy though. As far as articulation goes for Simon Belmont, the head can go left and right. It kind of is hindered by the hair a bit and goes up and down all the way around a little bit. We have to push it down on the ball, get it seated on the head a little bit better, but that's fine. You do get it all the way around, not really bumping too much into this piece over here, and then up and down. This one's a little tricky. I haven't really worked it all that much. With this up, and it goes up this much, but you want to put it down as much as you can just to keep this from moving all that much. You can up this far and then back this far without really disturbing the pauldron over here on this side. The swivel works less than before. It's hindered and hampered by the belt a little bit. I really don't want to jinx moving it, and you don't really want to have him moving much anyways, because he's mostly going to be moving forward or back at least, you know. You do get up, not really that far. It's hindered a lot by this, and back just okay, I would guess. And the splits, I'm kind of pushing it. I don't want to really push it even further. The articulation is very hindered by this, but the fact that you have a Castlevania figure in your collection like this is astounding to me, even with all the really great accessories. This is a phenomenal looking figure and well worth the price. As far as kit bashing goes, enjoy whatever this thing I made is. It's a monster that Simon can fight now, I guess. Hooray. Here's Simon Belmont next to some 1980s updated video game icons. Mario, Pac-Man, and Link from Legend of Zelda with a Twilight Princess twist. They all look really great, especially Link next to Simon Belmont. They're a pretty good scale, and I'm glad I got this figure in this scale. Here he is with some more 1980s icons, Luigi, Mega Man, and Samus Aran from Metroid. I really like how he scales well with Samus, her being a little bit taller than him, which works out really well for my collection. Simon Belmont stands slightly above 5.5 inches tall or so, edging into 5 3/4. He looks phenomenal. I love this thing. It's great. And also here's Jesse Hecht Creative. Simon, you're doing this the hard way. Whips, crosses, shields, axes, all this stuff to kill Dracula? Nah, here's what you do. He comes to your house, you invite him in for dinner, you cook with garlic, and you watch him writhe on the floor. Overall, buff guys in medieval outfits are weird, man. Both He-Men are really good figures. I do like how they adhere to their cartoon counterparts. However, that's not what I came here for. I'm here for Simon first and foremost. I do love the Kitbash I made with them, though. It's really freaky and strange, and I like how it looks in comparison to Simon Belmont. It's almost like a twisted clone of He-Man or something that was made in a lab. That being said, the He-Man figures are really great on their own and definitely worth it if you're a He-Man fan. Simon Belmont, on the other hand, is a fantastic figure. I love how he looks. The head is an amazing sculpt with some great paint on it, as well as the armor on him. Yes, it's a little bit stiff and hard to get on, but once you get on him, you'll never want to go back. It's fantastic. I love all the pieces used to make him and the creativity put into it. The floral wire for the vampire killer and Morningstar is fantastic. I love how they look, articulate, and it's just incredible. There are some downsides, however, with the pliability of the material, as it makes the figure stiff, but also is prone to breakage. If it was made with different materials, probably a little more rubbery, I think that would bring down the cost and bring up the playability. The articulation is hindered and hampered as opposed to He-Man himself. But that being said, there aren't that many Castlevania figures on the market in this scale, and this one is a fantastic one to get. I would highly recommend doing this Kitbash if you do have the funds. It is wonderful and basically perfect to add to your Smash Brothers collection. But make no mistake, this custom Simon Belmont is no vampire filler and all vampire killer. And also a very special thanks to Mega Custom X on Instagram for having this in stock so I can get it, even though it was months ago that the sale started. I really love this figure. It is excellently done with tender loving care, and now I understand fully the price justification. It did come from France. I didn't know that initially, but I'm at least very happy to have this in the collection, and it is well worth the cost. Trust me, this is phenomenal, and if you love Castlevania, you'll love this Simon Belmont. Thank you, Mega Custom X, for this. So which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching Jesse Hecht Creative. Feel free to click like, subscribe, share, or leave a comment. You can also visit us at jessehechtcreative.com, where you'll find more reviews like this one. Thanks again for watching, and keep being creative. Stay tuned.